Hey, what's happening? It's Bill Smith. It looks like Aunt Becky with the good hair is going to jail. She might flip. Who knows what she's going to say to the feds? She was in court yesterday. She turned herself in. But a lot more about the story surrounding Olivia Jade Giannulli has come to light. So the first thing to talk about is that she was on a gigantic yacht. Gigantic yacht. That's the yacht that she was on at the time the story broke. It's owned by this guy named Richard Caruso, and he is the head of the board of trustees at the college that she goes to, USC. Now, he's a billionaire that has a history of bribery scandals of his own. Lo and behold, couldn't make it up. Briberies leading to more briberies. And it looks like the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree because his father, the elder Caruso, and some of his associates were indicted for fraud, forgery, and conspiracy in 1957. He was ultimately sentenced to county jail. So now the rumors are starting to fly. $500,000. Who got that money? Where did it go? Did it all go to the charity, or did it end up in places like Rick Caruso's pocket? So this is his daughter, Gigi Caruso. This is who Olivia Jade Giannulli was visiting at the time. This is the daughter of a billionaire. And people are starting to ask some very interesting questions. So this is what's on Instagram right now. People are saying, why are comments being blocked? And another person asked, did the Laughlins sell their daughter to Rick Caruso? Is he banging Olivia Jade? And I think a lot of people are going to start asking this question and wondering about it. Is that what's happening here? Did that happen? Or are they just friends? You know, is it possible they were just friends? Just happens to be friends with the board of trustees. This girl goes to this school. Rich, wealthy, well-plugged-in Hollywood parents. Now she's on a yacht. And it seems odd that the board of trustees would not know that people were granted scholarships and then never showed up for practice and didn't compete on the team. The plot thickens because it looks like Mr. Caruso has a little bit of a troubled past himself. So even though he's a billionaire, people want to know how he got the deals in real estate, deals that were brought up on votes, and the community voted it down, but lo and behold, it made it through at the mayor level. So just to throw this in there, Caruso-affiliated entities, him and his friends, essentially, donated almost $500,000 to city officials in the last 5 years. They pay $100,000 a year to city officials in the LA area. City officials, $500,000 over 5 years. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, USC is going through other stuff right now that's just as bad. So this just hit the headlines last week. USC ignored complaints about a school doctor's sexual misconduct and unnecessary rectal exams on gay male students. This guy's name was Dr. Dennis Kelly, and he told people to, quote, climb onto an examination table with their bare buttocks in the air and then anally penetrated them, which he insisted was a necessary part of their examinations. These people were also told that he was the only doctor on campus that they could see. USC ignored the complaints, despite receiving repeated complaints regarding Dr. Kelly's misconduct. Which seems to be a theme, because just last year, Dr. George Tyndall was brought up on charges of horrible, abusive sexual practices as a gynecologist. He even quipped about the looseness of his patients. This behavior went on for years at USC. They were told many times. And since somebody came forward, got a lawyer, and decided to press charges, hundreds of women have come forward to share their stories about this. The bribery and corruption at USC is astounding. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. To have 3 or 4 of these major events happen on that campus in less than 9 months is very troubling and should be very surprising to some people. To make matters worse, that Caruso guy, the board of the trustees promoted this woman, Wanda Austin Ginsburg, I guess. Sorry, Wanda Austin, who was given the Ginsburg gift. That's a woman, by the way. They promoted her to start introducing diversity by clearing out all the beloved white guys. Then they implemented some new policies so that students couldn't protest it. During the same time, a diversity promotion was forced to resign after he was brought up on sexual harassment charges. Dr. Rohit Varma, the USC Medical School Dean. I mean, for a guy looking to rehabilitate his image after like these other public corruption scandals, this was a terrible way to do it. There's been all kinds of stuff that's been happening at USC on this guy's watch, okay? And now you have Olivia Jade, the poster child for privileged corruption, hanging out on his yacht with his daughter while letting a campus doctor anally rape a bunch of gay students. Kind of blows my mind. But all is not lost, okay? The world is not without some sort of sense of karma. USC did recently remove Bryan Singer's name from the cinematic arts. He's a child rapist, by the way. And it looks like brands don't want to be associated with this. So everybody can breathe a sigh of relief at this point, I think. Continue to keep up the great work, okay? The work that you've done over the last little bit, if you've posted online, has had an impact on the world. Sephora has just cut ties with Olivia Jade, but know that her other brand deals are still at stake. So we're going to see who can hold out the longest, okay? Who's going to be the brand that sticks with Olivia Jade the longest? Huh? Who's going to stick around? Princess Polly, maybe? Amazon? You know that whenever she was giving you all those videos, she's trying to sell you stuff from Amazon. Like, that was all about her move-in. This picture right there. People say that she was paid between $30,000 and $50,000 to simply post this picture to her Instagram account and tag Prime Student. That's all she had to do. $30,000 to $50,000. I'm thinking that you do this over a few years and you make that $500,000 back pretty quick. If you took action on this, you're the reason why this is happening. All right, so keep up the great work. These are all the, you know how she just lost her endorsement on Sephora? This is the reason, okay? They weren't going to do this until people put pressure on them. So here's a couple comments that says, I bought this in hopes it would get me into college. Didn't work. I guess I need $500,000 and no brains. Wore this on the day I took the SAT, and I got into a very competitive school. I also wear this when I go to my school games and parties, but not to class because I don't go to class. Haha, I mean, I don't really care about school. That wasn't that good. The perfect shades to match rich privilege. So I want to point this out. Like, if there's stuff that you want to get about Olivia Jade, you better get over here quick because a lot of the comments, a lot of the content that has been posted over on Twitter at least have been scrubbed. So you can't see any of this good stuff that I think everybody's going to be looking for. There's great stuff over here. You can't tell me that's the only image that's ever been uploaded for Olivia Jade comments. So on Twitter, they're going to scrub this stuff. They've already locked down Instagram. They've already started to clean up Instagram. Then they unlocked it. Then it got flooded again, so they locked it back down. And, of course, decided to finally disable her comments on the YouTube videos after thousands and thousands and thousands of hate comments flooded this channel. When I did my first video about this, I think this is my fourth one. I'm just trying to cover it in real time because I think the corruption at USC is going to be the big story. I think it has a lot less to do with Olivia Jade and a lot more to do with this Caruso fellow with the giant yacht. So, like I said, she finally locked it down. Comments were up to like 8,000, I think. and there was 10,000 likes and 0,000 dislikes, like 250 dislikes at the time. So there were no negative comments, no dislikes on this channel until this happened. And now everybody can see what a fraud scammer Olivia Jade is, and her mom, Aunt Becky, and this Caruso guy. And, people are starting to ask questions. Now, before I go, I want to leave it here. I think that one of the reasons why they finally decided to lock down the comment section, because they let it go for a while. I think the reason why they finally locked it down is because people from USC who knew her or knew people who knew her were starting to talk about who she was on campus, people that she was hanging out with, some of the quote-unquote partying that she was professing to doing. And it had to do with this off-campus fraternity that had been banned like 5 years ago, and they were just now getting ready to come off their suspension. So I guess she's in a bunch of like Insta, Snapchats and stuff from these guys. There's some talk about her getting passed around like a Frisbee. I don't really want to go into it because it's just a rumor. I don't know anybody at USC. I just found it odd that once that comment showed up, that thread showed up in her comment section over here, then they locked it down. And they were already facing huge pressure. She's going to lose, hopefully she's going to lose all of her endorsements. Hopefully she'll be removed from USC. Hopefully a more deserving person can take her spot on the row team next year. And maybe they can be competitive because she didn't have the arms to pull it off. Okay, so that's it. That's all I got. I guess goodbye for now. If you want to do something, I haven't seen any good memes about Olivia Jade and her friends over there. I really think that this is a good meme that we should pass around. So there's no memes on the meme generators that I went to. As many comments as there are, it seems like there should be some memes. Why are there no memes about her yet? All right, so, trouble is now that Instagram has been locked down. It doesn't look like Olivia Jade's going to come back to Instagram anytime soon. But if you want to get some inside information about what was going on that yacht, the person to talk to is gigi.caruso, Gigi.Caruso. Till next time, it's Bill Smith. Thanks for watching.